Following the public excluded conversation around the legally privileged legal advice. We're now into an open session. I'm just going to get you, Molly, to give us an introduction and introduce for the public session our legal advisor.
Kia ora, Madam Chair. For the record, I am joined today by Kate Hatwell from Tompkins Wake. Kate has been providing counsel with legal advice on the matter of the review of the joint management agreement with Te Arawa River Iwi Trust. Just a very quick reminder of the legislative foundation, which I covered off earlier. The Ngāti Tūwharetoa Raukawa and Te Arawa River Iwi Waikato River Act 2010 places a duty on Council and Te Arawa River Iwi Trust to have a joint management agreement in place. The Act prescribes the minimums that must be within the joint management agreement, and these include monitoring and enforcement, the preparation, review and change of planning documents, and resource consenting under the Resource Management Act. Lastly, the Act also provides the mechanism and pathway for reviewing the joint management agreement, which is what we're doing today and what we're discussing. I'm going to hand over at this point to our legal advisor, who has to leave in the next few minutes to cover off a couple of key important matters that we're keen to get onto the public record. Kate.
Molly, kia ora koutou. So I'm Kate Hatwell, I'm a partner at Tompkins Wake, and we were asked to review the suggested changes that have happened as a result of a review of the joint management agreement that was originally entered into in 2012 with Te Arawa River Iwi Trust. And we have given some advice to Council. The changes that have that we've recommended, I can confirm, do not go any further than the current legislation, and there are some the Council, first of all, has some obligations under that legislation in terms of co-governance of the river, and the processes in terms of how the parties interact together and monitoring and enforcement of resource consents, etc. They have all been in a joint management agreement for the last decade. After a review, some of those processes have been updated. For example, there's now some automated responses and resource consents. There are some additional acknowledgements, but from Council's perspective, these changes don't go any further than what Council is required to do under the legislation, or reflect, I guess, in practice, how the parties are working together. So we are comfortable where these latest amendments have landed. We still have one more round of negotiations, or to go back to Tarot's legal and discuss some final minor amendments, but after that we should have an agreed new form of JMA.
All right, so you can confirm for us that Council during in this process is not moving beyond the statutory obligations that were provided for in the treaty settlement legislation, and we are not shifting any of WRC's responsibilities beyond what was intended in that original settlement agreement.
Exactly right.
All right, great. With that, I know you've got a plane to catch. Thank you very much for your attendance today. Thank you for your work on this document. We look forward to the next stages. So with that, councillors, I'm just going to adjourn the workshop for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back for our next session. Thanks, everyone.